Hello everyone, I'm so happy to have you in math class again. Today we're going to continue with the concept of fractions. Remember, I told you that fractions are a part of a whole. I'll show you a practical example. This is an apple and it's a whole apple. When I divide it in two equal parts, the parts should be equal. There shouldn't be a smaller and a bigger part. There should be equal. So when I cut it in two equal parts. Now I have two equal parts. These parts, and this part are a fraction of a whole apple. So basically, fractions are just like dividing. And here I've divided in two parts. Since I divided in two parts, if I eat only one part and I leave this other part, it's gonna be 1 over 2. Why is it 1 over 2? Because I only eat one part, and there were two parts in all. At the beginning, to start with, I started with two parts, then I ate one. So the one at the top represents the amount of apple that I eat, and the two at the bottom represent the two parts. So this fraction is called 1/2. It's called 1/2. It's called 1/2. Now, what happens when I divide this fraction, this apple, in 4 parts? I'm going to divide each of my 2 parts in half. So I have 4 parts. 1, 2, there are 2 here, 3, and 4. Let's start. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So my 4 parts are all equal. If I eat only one part out of the 4 parts, how many parts are there in all here? We said there are 4. So I need to write, if I want to write this fraction mathematically, I should write the 4 at the bottom. The denominator is 4 because there are 4 parts in all. And if I eat only one part, I'm going to put 1 at the top. And this is 1/4. 1/4. What happens when I eat 2 parts? When I eat 2 parts, it's going to be 2 at the top. So I'm going to write 2 at the top and 4 at the bottom. This is 2/4. What happens when I eat 3 parts? If I eat 3 parts, it is 3/4. So it's 3/4. Great. Well, some other people call these fractions quarters. Instead of saying 1/4, they can say 1/4. 1/4. 2 quarters. So this is 1/4. 2 quarters. 3 quarters. Great. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how to name fractions, and different ways of naming fractions. I just showed you some examples, but to do that, we're going to see the different types of fractions that you can encounter in life. I've just shown you a fraction of a part of a whole, like this one. This is an area. When you have an area and you divide the area, it creates smaller areas. Like this is a rectangle, and I divide it in 1, 2, 3 parts. Now, since there are 3 parts in all, I'm gonna write 3 at the bottom of the fraction, and I only shaded 1 part, so I'll put it 1 at the top, and this is called 3. It's called 1/3. 1/3. 1/3 because it's 1 out of 3. Now, there's also fractions that can be represented by a number line, like this one. There are 8 parts in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and only 1, 2, 3 parts are shaded. So this fraction is 3 out of 8. I can read it like this: 3 out of 8, or 3 over 8 or 3/8. 3/8. I can write it this way. So, excuse me, spelling here should be, this is a EHTHS. So this is 3/8. There are two ways you can read this fraction: 3 parts out of 8, or 3/8, or 3/8. Same thing for this one. This is 1 out of 3, because I took one part out of 3 parts. I have named this fraction in 2 ways: 1/3 or 1 out of 3. I can also name it 1/3. So it's also 1/3. 1/3. Let me write this 3 in that word. In word 1/3. Good. So there are 2 ways in which you can name a fraction. You can use the word out of. You can use the word over, and you can use ordinal numbers to name the fractions. So now, you can also have a fraction of a number. I told you a fraction of a number line, a fraction of an area, and a fraction of a number. Here I have marbles. Some of them are red and some are blue. How many marbles do I have in all? I need to figure it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9, so I will put the 9 at the bottom, because 9 represents all the marbles that I have here. It should be written 9 at the bottom. Now, what fraction is the red marbles? I will count 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna write 3 there. Good. I have 3 at the top and 9 at the bottom. So 3 is the numerator, and 9 is the denominator. The denominator. How do I name this fraction? Remember, there are 2 ways to name the fraction. I can call it 3/9, or 3 out of 9, 3 out of 9, or 3/9. 3/9. Okay, call it 3/9. So here 9ths, because I'm using the ordinal numbers. Here it's out of and over. So those are the 3 ways to name the fractions. Now remember, you name the fraction by using over, you name the fraction by using out of, you name the fraction by using ordinal numbers. So I would like you to rehearse and practice your ways of writing fractions. I'm going to ask you a question. You'll try and do this by yourself, and I'll give the answer later. What is this fraction? If you look at this fraction, the top number is the numerator, the bottom number is the denominator. Now 4 is at the top and 5 is at the bottom. So this is 4/5. 4/5, because 4 is at the top and 5 at the bottom. So it's 4/5. Or it is 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. Or it can also be called 4/5, which means there's a 4 at the top and there are 4 parts out of 5. Good. So this is what you basically do with fractions. Now we will do more practice. We'll do more practice and more exercises, so we'll understand how to name fractions, and we'll try and apply fractions to real life situations, so you can understand the concept of fraction and be able to use it in your life. So I would like you to look at the board and see the different ways in which you can name a fraction. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. I'm so happy you've been here to watch and follow the lesson. Thank you so much. Bye bye.